Hello Zaniacs, welcome back to Zaniac TV. I'm your host Zane, and today we're going to be going over the news post about the Monk 9.1 Legendaries. Alright, so the Monk Covenant Legendaries. Let's start off with Bountiful Brew. Your abilities have a low chance to cast Bone Dust Brew at your target's location. Okay, so if you are a Necrolord, your abilities do have a low chance of doing Bone Dust Brew, which means you'll be able to get brews back faster, plus the extra damage and healing. Now, my question is, what is a low chance? Because if you use Keg Smash, you get 3 seconds of your Celestial Brews back, which is the legendary most people are currently using. Is the Bone Dust Brew procs worth it? Because the duration makes it about 6 seconds. So how often are you going to get that back? That's going to be up for testing. I'm not a Necrolord, so I would have to see how often this low chance is before I can or can't recommend it. Call to Arms Kyrian. Weapons of Order calls forth your Celestial for 12 seconds. I mean, as a tank, I do that anyway. I pop Nizao with Weapons of Order. Like, you'll often hear me calling it Kyrian Nizao because Weapons of Order buffs Nizao. So the question is having all that extra Nizao worth losing the extra Keg Smash for? Because Weapons of Order has a 2-minute cooldown. So popping Weapons of Order consistently on cooldown plus having Nizao, that actually sounds really good for pushing keys. But as a defensive, losing that extra Keg Smash, well, that's 3 seconds every 8 seconds for Celestial Brew, and other brews, of course. But having Nizao a defensive cooldown out with Weapons of Order every 12 seconds, that sounds like it's a lot of fun. Because honestly, like, even when healing, having a Yu'lon out every 2 minutes, that's like popping a double cooldown. Because I usually separate them when I'm healing. I separate Yu'lon from Weapons of Order, and I use them as 2 separate cooldowns. So being able to pop them together, that's going to be a massive amount of healing. That sounds really incredible. I might actually get that for healing. Not entirely sure if that's going to be better than Tear of the Morning, which spreads Renewing Mist, but spreading Renewing Mist is only a 10% chance. But the extra cleave heals is really good. So Call to Arms might actually be incredible. Feline Harmony. Your abilities have a chance to reset Feline Stomp is doubled. Enemies and allies hit by Feline Stomp are affected by Fey exposure, increasing your damage and healing against, or for if it's friendly, them by 8% for 10 seconds. Okay, so Feline Stomp is every 30 seconds. And had a 6% chance of reset. Now, with this legendary, it's going to double that, so it's 12. And every time you use Feline Stomp, damage and healing against them is increased by 8%. So, Feline Stomp counts for you, so your self-healing goes up by 8%. And your damage towards the enemies go up, so that's extra threat. Plus the 12% up from 6% with the Feline Stomp effect. That actually sounds almost worth it just for the extra self-healing for 10 seconds. Plus, like I said, the chance of reset, so it's going to be up all the time. And all that extra mastery if you're Nia. That actually sounds really good. Sinister's Teaching. Fallen Order summons 1 additional adept for 24 seconds. You have an active adept. Your abilities that critically hit reduce the cooldown of Fallen Order by 3 seconds. Okay, so pretty much with Fallen Order, you get the 1 additional adept. Alright? So during this duration of 24 seconds, when you crit, the cooldown of Fallen Order goes down by 3 seconds. One of the biggest problems I have about the Venthyr is how long Fallen Order's cooldown is. Like, it's 3 minutes. That's very long and pretty unnecessary in my opinion. So having a cooldown reduced, but you're going to have to do that correlating with crit, which means you're going to want to stack more crit to make this more efficient, so that way you can get more Fallen Order's out, which means you're going to have to sacrifice Mastery for crit, and I'm not for this as a tank. I'd probably be more for this as a healer for Mistweaver, because then you'll be able to use Fallen Order more often, which is pretty incredible. Alright, well, those are the new Monk Covenant Legendaries. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Big thank you to everyone supporting me on Patreon. Without that support, videos like these would not be possible. Check out my Patreon if you would like to help support more content like this.